Morning, Jamie. How are you? Good morning, Tracy Carlson. How are you? Just sharing out to groups. Just give me a moment. Hey, Melissa Tucci. How are you? Good morning, Ducky. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Tia. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Kelly. You guys, if you could share out wherever you need to, however you like, wherever you feel so drawn to, that would be great. I'm doing the same. It's just going to be a moment while I do this. It always takes me a minute to get this done. So I can't be asking you guys to do it if I'm not willing to do it myself, right? Give me one moment. You know, it always takes a minute. Let the room fill up. Talk amongst yourselves. And anybody that's new that's joining, don't worry. I will be a little bit more exciting in a moment. And I will be talking directly to you. Just be patient. I'm sharing out right now. For those of you that are new, that don't necessarily understand why this guy's sitting silently in front of his camera. I need to concentrate. Because if I get too many things going at once, I'll screw something up for sure. Step by step. Here we go. Post. If you guys could also like, share, comment, subscribe, do whatever social media requires you to do, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps. Every little bit helps. It's so funny. I meditate to this music, and when I hear it, it like lulls me into this space of like, I might need to. The only problem is I can't put pick me up music on like anything that's on a record label because Facebook clocks it immediately and mutes my video, and so I have to play sort of stuff that doesn't offend. Why is it saying my battery is running low? Excuse me? Are you kidding? This is turned on. That can't be right. 1 second. Why is that not? Give me 1 second, guys. That's weird. Shit is plugged in. Okay, that's not charging. That's weird. All right, give me 1 moment. Sorry, guys. Just a few more and then I'll be ready, guys. Okay, that should be it. I don't understand why it's saying my battery is low. That is weird. Is something disconnected? Did the cat do something? Or is this part of what happened yesterday? Yesterday's forecast, I don't know if any of you guys watched. I think some of you did. Yesterday's forecast was quite strange. There was a minute where I pulled the card, and then when I went to go prop the card up, everything cut out. But not everything. Like the power to the computer stayed on, the overhead lights stayed on, but my ring light over here went off, and OBS stopped broadcasting, and the card was ghost. So it was sort of a strange experience, and then I wasn't sure if I was broadcasting or not. I had to message Ducky. I think we had a visitor. I've been talking in broadcast about, in the past few forecasts, about how I feel like there's maybe something trying to get my attention around the house. I'm not too worried about it. The grounding stone yesterday was relaxed, so I think it was just sort of a reminder that spirit is all around us, and just sort of an affirmation of that. Last night, this morning, I had a very vivid dream about a baby bear, that I was taking care of a baby bear. So I wore this shirt in honor of that. It's got two bears on it. And I actually just realized that when I put it on. I didn't think about the fact that I had the dream, but I did wear this shirt. I understand why I chose this shirt. I thought the blue would be a nice color, but I did dream about a baby bear. And then when I was lighting my incense this morning, I looked out the window and there was a hummingbird, which I don't normally always see them around here. So that was kind of cool. So I'm going to be looking up those little symbols, because I'm thinking spirit's just trying to talk to me through nature right now. If those things happen to you, definitely research what those messages might be for yourself. That's always a fun way to communicate with spirit, at least for me. So good morning, Raul. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Arsovsky Vasco. Thank you for coming into the room all the way from Macedonia. Thank you. Wow, that's really far. Hey, Linda. I'm glad you're here today, though. It's okay that you missed yesterday. You can always watch it over. Good morning, Jen Nichols. How are you? So yesterday was a little bit strange for me in the sense that I really do think that something kind of wonky is going on. Either, I don't know if it's my computer, or if I really do believe that because it was the ghost card, it was it was a visitation of some sort. Not from maybe a ghost, but maybe just spirit. It could have been my guides, could have been whoever, but it's just somebody trying to like catch my attention and say like, yo, bitch, let's work together. Yo, bitch. All right. So for those of you that are regulars here, y'all know the drill. We're going to do some breathing exercises. So let's breathe and try and get this done without any technical malfunctions. I've asked Spirit to please behave today. I've told Spirit that I'm aware you're here. And that's why we do this every day, is to connect ourselves closer to Spirit. So to not only those around us, but also to our own. So, we all each have our own spirit and soul, and we want to connect deeper with that. I think that's what this world needs, is more of that. That's what we're missing. We have the science, we have the warfare, we have the currency and economy. We just don't have the spirit. So, can we talk about that young Swedish girl? Like, now that is the soul coming through. In anger, mind you, but she is coming from a very soulful, truthful place, and I love it. I'm like, I leave it to a young Swedish girl to tell off the UN and to really be like so in her truth. It's a beautiful thing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know her name. I want to say it's like Thunberg or something like that, but like Greta Thunberg. But look up young Swedish activist. she's a nature activist, and she went to the UN, and Greta, yes, she is amazing. Her speech I'm getting chills down my back right now. And I love that. To me, that is how spirit works, like through children, or not that she's a child per se, but through the mouths of babes, as they say. You know what I mean? And she speaks such clear, concise truth. It's whether or not these rich motherfuckers that are like fucking us over are gonna listen, right? Excuse my language, not very spiritual of me. But they're there to also, I say this all the time, they're there to teach us something too. They're there to teach us how well do we value ourselves? How well do we pay attention? How well do we put ourselves first and honor ourselves and those around us and our environment? So they play a vital role, even though they might be rich motherfuckers. They're not necessarily the evil they are the evil that we intend them to be or whatever, but it's a whole nother... Anyways, don't get me started. But I've looked at it in meditation, and I sort of feel like they do serve a role and play a purpose, and the purpose is to educate us. And so we need to find that, that fair balance. Another thing, I'm on a tangent this morning. Sorry, guys. Check her out. Check out her speech. It rocked my world. And then the other thing is part 2. The pick a card made it up yesterday. So you guys, if you haven't watched it, please go watch the part 2 on my YouTube channel. And I linked in the end of part 2. There's a link to part 1. So you can see that. They're connected there. Also in the description box, if you want to just go straight to part 1 and watch that first, there is a link in the description box. The timestamps are in there. All the decks that are used with links to their unboxing videos are in that description. That's what I was doing this morning. And within those unboxing videos are links to where to purchase these decks. So if any of these decks interest you that you're seeing in these pick-a-cards, all of that information on purchasing them for yourself so you can utilize them in your own life are within the unboxing videos, okay? So the idea is follow the trail, go down the rabbit hole. Watch as many videos as you can. Give them all a like, a thumbs up. Give them a subscribe. Hit the bell. Ring my bell, as Anita Ward would say. And you'll be notified anytime I do another one. Now that's part 2 of the pick-a-card of sort of like this keys to success. And I feel like this is spirit guiding me to sort of help you guys. Not help you guys, but where are our keys for success? The first one was where are our keys? So I used these keychains that I found in Mexico, and there was 3 piles. There's 3 different keychains. And you guys have seen that one. And then the second one was, now that we have our keys, where do we use them? Where do we apply them? Like what area? And so I had 4 different keys laid out, because they go to the keychains. Get it? Now for part 3, I'm still working on the deck, so you might have to be patient for part 3. But hey, in any good trilogy, we have to wait for it to be released. It might come Christmas time, like, a good Star Wars trilogy. But I'm working on putting the decks together for part 3. I know what the theme is for part 3, and it has to do with success, and it's the sort of the final answer or sort of what's going on there. And I'm piecing together the decks that belong in that. And that's going to have, so we went from 3 piles in part 1 to 4 piles in part 2, 4 groups in part 2, to 5 groups in part 3, okay? So there's going to be 5 more groupings. So, and I don't, I feel like led to do this by spirit, and it's not 100% clear. And then when I shoot it from a place of just reading, and then I put it out there, and then I'm sort of like, did that make sense? I don't even know if they're connecting, because I don't use my pick-a-cards for myself. They're gifts to you guys. I don't include myself in the shuffling as I'm doing them. I just think about the groups and those that are watching. So any sort of commenting, any sort of sharing on the cohesiveness, any sort of validation on whether or not they're making sense or they're connecting or they're giving you information, I would greatly appreciate. Just so that I know that it is doing what I think it's supposed to. But that's, me just trying to follow what I'm feeling inspired to do. Okay? And that's what we should all be doing, I think. I hope. Good morning, Amanda. So, whose birthday is it? Is it Amanda Kuppenmeyer's birthday? Happy birthday, Amanda. Hey, Tracy Carlson. Hey, Judy Crossley. Happy birthday, Amanda. Good for you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And Jules says it was spot on for me, Dan. Awesome. My thing is I'm wondering if they connect from one video to the next. That's the part where I was kind of nervous about putting it together, because I feel like I had the components of the keychains and then the keys, and now I have the components for the next one. That's why I know it's 5 groups. But I have to now figure out the decks that I'm using for this third portion, which I will figure out. But the thing is each deck will need to have an unboxing and all of that. So I'm trying to scramble on all of that. Not scramble, but put it together. Allow Spirit to guide me for it, through it, to it. And I've also got things coming up where I'm going to be departing for 5 days. I explained that to you guys yesterday in yesterday's video. So if you watch that, there's a little explanation. I'll be gone from the 6th to the 11th. But I'm going to try and shoot from where I'm at in Rhinebeck, we'll see, in New York. So if any of you are in upstate New York and want to come visit me, let me know, and we can, you can message me at the business page, and we can try and put something together. But let's do our breath work, guys. So what we do around here, for those our new friends from Macedonia, we like to take in 3 breaths to bring ourselves into the present moment as best we can. Ooh, I am being touched right here. Spirit is like, hello. So we want to take, I can't even think right now because my hair is standing on end up here. All right, we want to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, down into the belly, right? As we're doing so, and a great visualization is just visualizing plus signs and allowing those to spread out through our body, right? And just knowing that that is positive energy, new, fresh, positive energy that's set in present time, made for us, right? We let those plus signs go wherever they want to in our body. And as we'll hold the breath at the top of the breath, right? As we pull it in, we'll hold for a few seconds to allow the oxygen to permeate our brain and our bloodstream. And then we will exhale through the mouth, imagining negative signs or minus signs going out of our mouth, releasing any negative energy, any stale energy, any energy that's outdated, not working, doesn't belong to us. Let it go. Okay? So we do that, and with each time that we do that, we like to give honor and thanks to the vehicles that carry us through this lifetime. First being the body, second being the mind, third being the spirit. Okay, the Holy Trinity, like the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, right? Those are the parts that help us to experience this life in the 3D universe that we live in. So we want to give thanks and gratitude to those things as we exhale, okay? So if you'll join me in that, please close your eyes, plant your feet firmly on the floor, bring your attention to your body, to yourself. If you're thinking about the past or something you need to do later today or far into the future, let's bring our attention back here to us. Right now in this moment. And let's take in that first breath deep into the belly. Sometimes it helps me to bring my attention back to myself when I place my hand right here on my chest. It just will bring me back to this physical component of my body. Okay, so let's inhale deeply. And exhale. Releasing all of that air and saying thank you to our beautiful body for the great medical miracle, beautiful gift, natural disaster and wonder all at the same time that it can be. Even if our body's giving us trouble, pain, inconvenience, it's trying to talk to us, it's trying to communicate with us. It is a beautiful gift. And we need to remember that and honor that. Let's take in that second breath. And release. Honoring and being grateful for our mind. For the problem solver, for the tool, for the supercomputer that it is. For the imagination that it contains, for the dreams, for the worries. Be grateful for all of it in its entirety. Honor it. It is your mind. And let's take in that third breath. and release. Thanking the Spirit and all that it does, how it's always with us, even when we're aware of it or not, all the magic it creates, all of the knowledge it contains, all of the beauty and capability that maybe we don't even understand it to have, yet it does. Let's honor that and be grateful for that today. Okay, let's open our eyes. Welcome to the 25th, guys. It's Wednesday the 25th. We're at our midweek point. Let's see what the cards have in store for us. I need a sip of cafe. Happy fall. And that's not like a Tanya Harding reference or anything, you know. No knee bashing around here. I don't want you to actually literally fall. I mean, for those of you that are maybe accident prone, I'm talking more about the leaves falling from the trees, the natural universe, you know. All right, so Spirit, please give us a card that best represents for the collective today. Not only those that are watching now live, but those that may tune in later today or in any time in the future. What is the card that we most need to look at today to be aware of? Jen Nichols, I just want to say another thank you to you for this deck. It really is amazing, this deck. Jen also sent me another deck, the Tattoo Tarot, which I'm going to do an unboxing of that. I also still have to unbox Affirmators. I haven't even opened it yet. But this Literary Witches deck has been really beautiful and really, really amazing. And so, excuse me, I just want to really say thank you, because I think not only have you given me a gift with this deck, but you've given this group a gift. Excuse me. I think a lot of people have been enjoying this and getting a lot of insight from it. And that's, you know, on behalf of you. So thank you very, very much for that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I do have an Amazon wish list. If you want to send me a deck off of that wish list, or even a deck that you see out there that you're interested in that you would like me to unbox and possibly work with, feel free to do so. I'm always open to presents and gifts. It's a great way to support the channel. It's a great way to it gives me opportunities to create new content by doing unboxing videos, and it also gives me the opportunity to learn new languages of cards. You know, like, and also it works my intuition in different ways. So it strengthens my intuition. And it gives gifts back to the group, like this deck has. So I want to say thank you to Jen again for that. I am going to finish out this month with the Literary Witches, and then next month, like I said in yesterday's video, we're going to work with the Witchwood Oracles, because there's 3 different decks in there, and October is a kind of witchy month. But I am going to load the 4 unboxing videos for our next options during the month of October, and you guys are going to watch those videos and vote, and by the end of October we'll know what our next deck will be for the month of November. Okay, that's going to be the plan for that. I know you're feeling the deck, Jen. It's been awesome. I'm feeling this deck too. It's beautiful. And it's like, I don't know, it's just been really lovely, this deck. So I just wanted to say another thank you. All right, Spirit, thank you. Now that we've thanked Jen, we can thank Spirit, we can draw our card and see what the witches want to tell us today. Oh, whoa. Okay, so interesting. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Hopefully we don't lose power. Now, this is a 70 card deck, so I'm going to say right out of the gate, the card that we have here is telling me something that I'm going to share with you. Okay, so let me turn this around for you guys and show you what's going on. I know I love the Doors deck too. Let me turn the camera around. Look who it is, guys. It's our friend Gertrude Stein. Now, if you guys watched Sundays, Gertrude is supposed to be the end of the week energy, right? She's supposed to kind of show up end of the week for us. What this says to me right out of the gate is Gertie's here early. Gertrude Stein is perspective, right? And we had this at the end of the week saying that we were shifting our perspective. I think that that's already happening for us. What this says to me is that snail that was in the middle of the week, I don't know if some of you guys weren't into it or not having it, but it feels to me like you guys have maybe moved for faster than we previously predicted, because our end of the week energy is here. For those of you that might be moving at a slower pace, that Sunday forecast may still hold true for you, and you might still be working with that snail energy, but and you will arrive at Gertrude Stein's perspective, but some of you have bumped ahead. That's what I'm being told right now. Some of you have said, screw it, we want to get even further this week. So let's adult a little bit. We've done our subconscious work. We want to get to this place of perspective shift and change. Now, if you go back and look at Sundays, there's a lot of things in here that I talked about, like the rose representing sort of fragility, growth, protection. We have the writings, creativity here. We have this feather in the cage, which this also reminds me a little bit of that wings card we had 2 days ago. It's like releasing our wings and being aware that maybe we were keeping ourselves in a cage a little bit. And that was a little bit about Ghost yesterday, when all the power shut off to the, like, not all the power, but some of the power to certain few items to, like, you know, make me have to shoot 2 separate videos. But what I have here is Gertrude, to me, feels like adulting, right? Like, it feels like she's grown into herself. She's shifted her perspective. She knows who she is. She has this lovely Cosby sweater on, which Ducky loves. And she has, there's this great love story. When I read her card, I'll read it to you guys again. This is actually Alice B. Toklas in the mirror looking back at her, which was her lover. But to me, this feels like us being aware of who we once were. I know this is Alice B, and this is supposed to be another human being, but to me, I feel like this is Gertrude as an older adult, more wizened person, looking back fondly at who we once were, or who she once was. So to me, this feels like us sort of moving forward in our growth, in understanding who we are, and sort of steadying that, or what's the word that I want to say? Like grounding ourselves in that, but also remembering back to who we were and honoring that, like through this mirror. And that part of ourselves we're still sort of connected to. We don't, when we let go, like these little arms here say to me, like how I want to interpret this, or what I want to say, what my intuition is saying to me is, when we let go of those older or more youthful, like, parts of ourselves, right? The parts of ourselves that we don't necessarily need or are no longer serving us. When we sort of let go of them, they don't necessarily go away. They can live in memory, right? Sometimes, for some of us, in a negative way, they can reach out and kind of grab us and pull our attention to the past. And they can be sort of full of, like, maybe regret or sadness. But if we look back and we sort of honor that and find gratitude, like I'm always sort of saying, we can have that connection to our past self, and that makes it a little bit more easy to sort of let go, right? To sort of evolve and become more adult and become more grounded and aware of what we know from what we've learned from our past. We don't have to lose that. So anybody that might be having fear of letting go of anything that might be something that they feel that they can't let go of, you can, and you can still keep sort of connection to it, but connection to it from in the sense of a loving memory, like I see here, because Gertrude loved Alice, and Alice, although she's in the mirror, they still are connected, but there's not necessarily, she doesn't hold sway over her. Does that make sense, guys? So I feel like this is us bumping up. Gertrude's here in the early part of the week because some of you guys have done some sort of shifting and changing. Like, y'all went straight to Gertrude Stein. You didn't want to do the snail thing. And those of you that chose to do the snail thing, that's completely fine. You can still move slowly. This is just a reminder that this is what we have coming. For those of you that are still sort of moving slowly and deciding what to let go of, or not 100% sure of how to let go, or where to let go, or when to let go, that's fine. Allow yourself the time and space. That's part of that snail energy. Allow yourself that time and space. And this card is just a reminder that for those of you, this is a card that reminds us that this is sort of where we're supposed to be at by the end of the week, which is let's shift our perspective. Let's change. Let's become senior in our space. And I hate to call Gertrude Stein senior, but she does look very adult here. Like she looks very reserved, adult, in control. That's just the sense that I'm getting from this. She is wizened, a little bit smarter, a little bit more aware. She just is settled in who she is, right? And why she is, both flaws and all kind of thing. And there is this sort of connection to the past and who, I know these are two separate individuals, but I see this as her looking back, or us looking back at who we were and having a fondness for that, but being able to keep that in a place where it's safe and we don't lose it, but it also has no sway or effect on us. Does that make sense? So you guys have, I'm going to switch the cameras back. It appears to me like you guys have moved right along and not necessarily messed up my forecast, but like sort of sped the forecast along. So I don't know what the rest of the underpinning of this week will be. I think that that's interesting that we've got her showing up early. We've had double, show-ups of cards. But to me, I feel like instantly when I see Gertrude here, she's saying, oh, whoa, these guys are really moving. Like, we're already here now. We're here. We were supposed to be here by Saturday, but it's now Wednesday, and some of us are already arriving at this perspective shift. We're looking at ourselves differently. We're holding ourselves differently. We're honoring ourselves in a different, more way. Does that make sense? So I think that is wonderful. And I think that should be embraced. We get to choose how fast we move this, how fast we evolve, or how open we are to it. Do we lean into it, or do we let go or be dragged? We get the choice, right? And it seems like some of you, at least with this card, or the majority of you with this card, are letting go. You're opening up to it and you're moving towards it, right? And you're shifting that perspective. You're being senior in your space and choosing what you choose to give your attention and intention to. So maybe me repeating that over and over again is making a difference. I don't know. Now let's look at the bag of rocks. He's as dumb as a bag of rocks. No, so this is the new thing for those of you that are new to us. This is the grounding stones. So with the card, we always pull a grounding stone. This is our new thing every morning to sort of give us the stones, give us the energy or the idea, a thought, a word for us to ground in as we think about this perspective shift that Gertrude is bringing about for us, right? And so let's see what Spirit, please give me a stone that best suits us for today. So today is joy. And I saw that hummingbird this morning. So what I'm going to do for you guys is, because that hummingbird was outside my window, I know that hummingbird in my medicine card deck, which if you guys don't have this card deck, it's a great card deck to reference for animals. Like if you come across an animal and you want to reference, I love the messages in this deck. But the hummingbird, I know for a fact, it's part of my totem from doing the totem spread in here, is joy. So the fact that we're getting joy in the stones means bonus time! I'm going to read you the story about hummingbird because I was going to read it for myself once I signed off, but we're going to read it today because it's connecting. So let me read you the story. Where is hummingbird? She is number 44, animal 44, which to me is a master number, sort of. And we're going to go to page 214 for hummingbird. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to read you the story because I saw definitely hummingbird flashed across my window this morning. So they each have a little song. Okay, this is the book, and they each have like sort of a little poem, song, and then the story. And this is why I'm going to read you the story. So, hummingbird, joyful little sister, nectar you crave. All the sweetness of the flowers is the love you gave. Hummingbird, joy. Hummingbird is associated with the ghost spirit religion, which taught that a certain dance done properly would bring about the return of the animals and that white people would disappear. Once again, the original people would know the joy of the old ways. In Mayan teachings, hummingbird is connected to the black sun and the fifth world. Hummingbird can give us the medicine to solve the riddle of the contradiction of duality. The song of hummingbird awakens the medicine flowers. Hummer sings a vibration of pure joy. Flowers love hummingbird because nectar sucking brings about the reproduction of their families. Plants flower and live because of hummingbird. Hummingbird can fly in any direction, up, down, backward, and forward. Hummingbird can also hover in one spot and appear to be motionless. Great Spirit created hummingbird to be slightly different from other feathered creatures. Because of their magical qualities, hummingbird feathers have been used for a millennium in the making of love charms. It is said that hummingbird conjures love as no other medicine does, and that hummingbird feathers open the heart. Without an open and loving heart, you can never taste the nectar and pure bliss of life. To brother and sister hummingbird, life is a wonderland of delight, darting from one beautiful flower to another, tasting the essences and radiating the colors. If hummingbird is your personal medicine, you love life and its joys. Your presence brings joys to others. You join people together in relationships which bring out the best in them. I'm just saying, hummingbird was in my totem. Y'all are a community that are loving on each other, so this book might be correct. You know instinctively where beauty abides, and near or far, you journey to your ideal. You move comfortably within a beautiful environment and help others taste the succulent nectar of life. Hummingbird holds the bow of beauty, which is delicately inlaid with gold and silver flowers, pearls, and precious jewels. Hummingbird disdains ugliness or harshness and quickly flies away from discord or disharmony. If hummingbird has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgmental attitude and relax. The stone from yesterday was relax, guys. Hummingbird will no doubt give you a flash of the spirit, darting here, there, and everywhere. Get ready for a strange new burst of energy, which may send your senses reeling. Hummingbird hears celestial music and is in harmony with it. Hummingbird may invite you to an art museum or a concert. Hummingbird energetically embraces the highest aesthetics. Never be coarse in front of hummingbird, for this is a fragile medicine which may have no understanding of worldly affairs. Beauty is the target, and hummingbird's mission is to spread joy or to be destroyed. Hummingbird quickly dies if caged, caught, or imprisoned. Follow Sister Hummingbird, and you will soon be filled with paroxysms of joy and experience a renewal of the magic of living. So that's the story of Hummingbird, guys. And I think that the Joy Stone, it's funny too, because as I was reading this, I was thinking of that little girl, Greta, and sort of her speech and how we brought that up. And there was something about how they disdain ugliness, how Hummingbird disdains ugliness or harshness and quickly flies away from discord or disharmony. And it made me think of Greta and her speech and her disdain for how this country is being run right now, or how this world is handling climate change globally. Anyways, so that is the story of Hummingbird. I hope I didn't bore you too much with that, but I felt like since the joy card came up, let's shift our perspective today, like Gertrude Stein is informing us to do. And let's feel joy around that. Let's experience that joy and be joyful about that change. We can embrace that change and become who we want to be by focusing our intention and our attention on who we want to be, how we want to feel. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to demean or lose sight of who we once were. We can hold that person or that space for that self that we once were from a place of acceptance and love, and know that it's okay to let it go. Okay? So use your hummingbird spirit today and find the beauty that is you, and let go of anything that you might deem as being disdainful or not serving you anymore. I don't want to say ugly because I think we tend to be our own worst critics, and so it's real easy for us to find what's wrong or what's ugly. So I don't want you guys to go looking for that today. I want you to look for the beauty today in who you are. Shift your perspective. Look for the beauty, look for the love, and live in the joy today, okay? So that would be your forecast for the day today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch that. And remember, it's all just energy for those of you that might be suffering or having a hard time right now. Remember, if you can find the gratitude, if you can find the joy in a situation, if you can focus your attention on something that is working versus focusing on the one thing that's not working, you're going to have a shift in your perception. You're going to have a shift in your energy. Your vibration will raise ever so slightly, even if it's a little bit, and that will allow the universe or the energies of the universe to come in and try and help you and lift you up out of whatever shitstorm you might be sitting in, okay? And if you're sitting in a shitstorm, you know what? You don't have to be. You get the choice. That's just the truth of the matter. And I know some of you, we all go through it. I myself go through it too. There's times where I have a hard time digging myself up out of whatever hole I've put myself in. But the truth of the matter is I choose to focus on that, what's wrong, or, how it's not working. Today, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to have our perspective, keep it on love, keep it on joy, and experience the day from that place. Okay? So, you guys have a wonderful day. And when Jen Nichols says, "What's the rock for today?" I was answering to my boss baby. Your boss baby said, "Feed me, bitch." You know what I found out on Instagram? Because I'm like exploring Instagram. By the way, please follow me on Instagram at Engelgeist333. I'm learning Instagram, and I put in, I don't know if I've said this to you guys, but I hashtagged "Feed me, bitch," and it's like actually a very popular hashtag. I did it on a picture of Gus because he was wanting food, and when I did the hashtag, it had over 5,000 hashtags. So I was like, what? So I go and I looked at "Feed Me Bitch" to see what the heck is under that. And there's actually a ton of other people with their pets and their pictures of their pets. It's so funny to me. So that's just a total aside. But that brings me a little bit of joy. I just think I love weird stuff like that where human beings are being human, because that's what we're here to experience is our humanness, flaws and all. So have a great day, you guys. Friday and Saturday night is Charmed events. Keep on the lookout for those. We'll probably post flyers or whatever for those on Facebook. I'm going to try and do some unboxings today. I was kind of inspired to go to Dallas. I wanted to go to a spiritual bookstore in Dallas, but I don't know if I'll do that today. We'll see. We'll see how it all unfolds, what feels right, and I'm going to go with it. Whatever brings me the most amount of joy today, that's what I'm going to do. And so, if not, the unboxings will come soon. Enjoy the new pick a card. I hope you guys like it. Let me know. Please comment. Tell me if they tie together. Go back and watch part 1, whichever one you... My fear is, and I shouldn't give voice to my fear, but I just want to make sure that they're not too repetitive. I don't know. Because I can't remember what I said in 1, because 1 was so long ago. So I just don't know. But that was my thing. I was talking to Ducky about it last night. I'm like, do they connect? Can you tell me? Because I don't use them. I don't know. Because I create them, so I don't watch them for myself. I watch other people's pick a cards for myself, and I pick a pile, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. They're totally talking to me. So I want you guys to feel that way with my pick a cards, I hope. So you guys have, Jill says you should come to Arizona. We could go to Sedona. I would love to go to Sedona at some point. I just have all these babies now. I have 5 babies. I'm going to go to New York, to Rhinebeck on the 6th for 5 days. And then I'm going to Virginia Beach in November. I want to say like the 11th to the 15th or the 10th to the 15th. So I'll be at the Edgar Cayce Institute. If you guys don't know who Edgar Cayce is, he's pretty amazing. You should check him out. I've heard that Sedona is very, very spiritual. Oh, Veronica Zupan, thank you. She says you're my angel. Thank you. I try. I appreciate that. We're all angels. Okay, hashtag Bulldogs and Bulldogs of Instagram. All right. I will do that. Good idea. I just was like surprised that Feed Me Bitch was a thing. It's funny. But what I have noticed is Engelgeist, which is my business name, has no hashtags except for me, which I'm happy about that kind of. And then, what's the other one? Spiritual Meteorologist, which I'm using, is just me using as a hashtag. So I feel like I've created these hashtags. So I'm sort of excited. Like, I don't know if that means anything, or maybe that's a bad thing because nobody's using it. But I noticed that I'm the only one posting under those hashtags. So I kind of feel like they're mine. Mine. I would love to come to Australia, Veronica. I've been there before. I've been to Sydney and Perth, and it's amazing. And Melbourne. I was in Melbourne, too, for a little bit. I spent a little over a month in Australia, and I had a blast in your guys' country. It was amazing. I wish I could do a spiritual tour. I can barely make it around my house. Let me grow up a little bit, and we'll see. We'll see. Maybe one day. I want to get, we'll see. I'm going to these places to study. I'm going to New York to study, and then I'm going to Virginia Beach to study. I'm paying for classes. Virginia Beach is all around mediumship, and the New York date is all around angels. So I'm not exactly sure. I have my own way of communicating with my angels, and so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to learn in New York, but I think that I'm hoping that it will be either a source of validation or I'll learn some new tricks, some new ways of being. So oh wait, Missy just opened her Facebook page and the first post was Old Farmer's Almanac with a hummingbird lore. Telling you, Hummingbird is here today to tell us some stuff. So, Dan, we are never growing up, Peter Pan, LOL. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off. I wish you guys, there is a group too that you guys can join. Let me put this link in the thing. You guys can join the group and all have this discussion, continue this discussion in the group. That's why there's a community there. A lot of the people that you see here in the chat every morning are in this Engelgeist group. So they post inspirational stuff there and talk amongst themselves and help each other out and all of that. So you can definitely join that group if you feel like you want this conversation to continue. I always feel bad when I go to sign off because I feel like I'm shutting down the chat, but I need to do stuff today, so I'm gonna cut it. But you guys can continue the chat there or, whatever. Remember to disconnect any energetic cords that you may have created both with me or with each other. It's totally acceptable to let go and disconnect. So I do that every morning after the broadcast. So you guys should probably do that too. You can do that at work. You can do that with friends. You can do that with family. It's fully acceptable, totally healthy, and allowed. So there's a shift in perspective for you. Okay? All right. I will talk to you guys later. I'm not in my pajamas, but I'm still having my coffee for sure. So. Happy birthday, Jasmine. Happy birthday. All the way in Australia, wherever you are. All right, you guys. Awesome. Please do. That would be great. And you guys follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I'm trying to get my YouTube channel subscriptions up. If I get to 1,000, then we can have chat enacted on YouTube, which would be great because then it would just be YouTube chat. I think that would make it easier, but we'll see. And this was your morning forecast. So I'm glad you all tuned in. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? Have a good day. Bye. Remember, be in joy.